Hello, I'm AxelMC131 and welcome back to Behind the Blocks in Minecraft 1.8. And today I want to show you this new mechanic that I have created. It is quite complex. I have divided it into 5 parts, as you can see here, but I'll get to that in a minute. Now, you can see that on the right-hand side of the screen I have a scoreboard objective called Thirst. And if you watch, that's slowly going up. Every now and again it'll go up by 1. And that's because I'm gradually getting thirsty as I'm playing around in Minecraft. Now, as you may, and this is can get quite bad when it starts getting very high, because I may start having some slightly negative effects, you know, from being dehydrated. And when it gets to a really high level, I will actually start dying. So, yeah, you want to be careful about this. I can demonstrate that when it gets up to 50, so I'll just set this to 49. When it moves up to 50, it will give me slowness 1, and it will continue to give me slowness 1 until I go below that. So you can see I've just been given slowness 1 when it hit 50, and so this is the first of the negative effects. Then when you get up to 79, when it goes up to 80, you get slowness 2 and nausea, as you can see. So you're starting to feel it. You're starting to feel the dehydration. Something needs to happen about this. You see, I've got the slowness 2 and nausea. And if I just go game mode 0, bad things start happening. Whoops. Bad things really start happening when you get up to 100. So if I just set this to 99, you see it says 99 on the right. When that goes up to 100, I'm going to start taking damage. Oh, there you go. And yeah, I died of dehydration, as you can see. Although it says I was killed by magic, but it also says I've died of dehydration. Now, there is a way to counter this. Wow, it's going up pretty quick now. Up to 5, which is, of course, to drink water. So I can grab a glass bottle, I can fill it, and I've got a water bottle here. You can see I did a quick replace there with a more unique water bottle, and I can drink this, and it will set my thirst back to 0. It actually reduces it by 20, so if I go set it to, say, 38 or something, and I drink some, it'll put it down by 20, and that will happen each time, so I can then drink some more, put it down to 0. Okay, cool. So I will show you how this all works. So if I just go game mode 1, right. So first of all, this is the bit that is increasing that thirst level, and all it is a hopper clock running to a 1 in 9 randomizer, and that is then activating a command block which is adding 1 to your thirst score every time this activates true. So every approximately 9 seconds, I think probably less than that actually, but it could be anywhere between, you know, instantly and a very long time. So it adds a level of randomness, which is why you can see that my thirst level on the right is going up at no noticeable pace. It's inconsistent. Then we have a second hopper clock over here, which is powering several command blocks at once over here. They've been divided into 3 segments, and these are the bits that have the negative effects on you. So first of all here is the first slowness effect. So this is effect at any player with a thirst score minimum of 50, and it will give you slowness for 10 seconds, although because it gives it to you every second anyway, it just seems to stay at 9 on the left. When you get up to 80, it will then affect you with slowness 2 and nausea, and then when you get up to 100, you'll get slowness 2, nausea, and instant damage, and because this is activating every second, it will then kill you quite quickly. Right. So, how does the bottle work in that case? Well, the water bottle replacement is, it's quite interesting. I wasn't sure how I was going to do this at first, but I came up with this. This is the standard redstone clock running here, which is activating this command block, which is trying to clear 0 Minecraft potions of ID 0 from the nearest player. And that is a water bottle. As you can see, these are all called Minecraft potion. They all have the primary ID of 373, but the secondary ID changes depending on what the potion actually is, and a water bottle by default has 0. So the moment you take a glass bottle, fill it from the water source over here, it gives you a water bottle with a level of 0. So this is testing for any player who has a water bottle like this in their inventory. And the moment it does that, it's going to test true and activate the next two. So you can see it flash, dink, and there it goes. Then what it's going to do is it's going to say, right, water bottle detected, clear it, and replace it with this. And this is going to be give player potion, 1 potion, ID 6, which is why when this happens, you can see the number there. You can see the number is 0, and it changes to 6. And that means that it won't then clear it again. If that was 0, it would clear it a second time. But what it is, it's actually a custom potion. It's called Water Bottle, and it has the lore drink to keep your thirst low. And it also has the custom potion effect of ID 23, which is saturation, amplifies 0 for 2.5 seconds, or 50 ticks. And what that means is, you can see it says saturation for 2 seconds. And what that means is when you drink it, it gives you saturation for a brief instant. Right. And that's a very special thing, and I will demonstrate this in the next segment here, which is how the thirst is restored. And what happens here is we have another command block clock running over here, which is constantly constantly executing this command: effect at player 23:0. So what that's doing is it is affecting the nearest player with saturation for 0 seconds, and that means that it's actually clearing it. Like the clear 0 over here, it's actually a test for. So it's testing for any player with the effect saturation. And because it's running so fast, it tests even 2 seconds here is long enough for it to say yes. And when it does that, it will then add 20 to your thirst score. So the saturation effect is just a proxy. So you will see that flash when I drink this. There. And it flashes, activates, and reduces my thirst level by 20. And then what's happening over here, this is the bit that is, this last command block over here is making sure I don't go below 0. So you can see even if I'm on 1, minus 20 is somehow always 0. And that's because I have this extra command block over here, which is going scoreboard players set at all players with a score thirst of -1 or lower, set it back to 0. And because this is right next to the redstone block here, the moment you go below that, you will never see the command, you'll never see the scoreboard on the right go below 0. So it doesn't look odd. And then finally over here, this is the death message and the reset. So what we have here is the third command block clock. You could do all these 3 on 1 command block clock and these 2 on 1 hopper clock, but I decided to separate them out for, for the sake of the viewers, for the sake of you guys. So what's happening here is this is testing for any player with a score deaths a minimum of 1. And that's a second scoreboard, which is literally it's rather than a thirst, which is a dummy objective, this one is actually scoreboard, objectives, lists, hang on, add deaths, which is of the objective death count, as you can see. And that basically means that when you die, it will automatically add 1 to your death count. So this is testing for anyone who has got 1 on their death count, who has 1 death. What this will then do is say, tell roar at any player with a score thirst minimum of 100, which is the only way that you could have actually died from this. So you have died, and you have a thirst level of 100, which means you have clearly died of dehydration. And it will say, you have died of dehydration in dark red. This is a tell roar command. Then what it will do is it will set any player with a death score of 1 to 0, their thirst score to 0. So when you die, it resets your thirst score like it does your hunger bar and stuff. And then it resets your death score to 0. Okay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So when this gets higher, if I set this to, hang on, where's my set to like 99, and go game mode 0. And when that goes up to 100, I'll start dying. Come on. Nausea. Nausea is the most pain in the ass effect. I mean, damn. Oh, there we go. And you'll see, just because it's above 100, it says I died of dehydration, and then it resets. I still have nausea and slowness for a couple of seconds, but that's because it gives them 10 seconds. You could make that just like 2 seconds, and it would still work. And then I can just keep drinking this. And reset the thirst. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. I've been AxelMC131, and this has been the Thirst Effect in Minecraft 1.8. I'll see you guys next time.